joined by UMass Boston men's cross country, indoor track and field, and outdoor track and field student athlete Prosper Lubega. Prosper, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
For the last couple of weeks, I've been working oh, outside from home at my part-time job at Brookhaven at Lexington, and at the same time, I've been home working on schoolwork and mainly keeping up with those two, school and work.
What do you do at Brookhaven, and how has your work changed, if at all, during the coronavirus pandemic?
At Brookhaven, I am wait staff, and basically, I've had roles where I take on functions, uh, act as a host to, sit residents, um, serve food in different sections of the facility. But that has all changed, and I'm mainly doing delivery work and also getting retaining calls from residents to get their menu orders and also um, mainly delivering the food.
So Brookhaven caters to an elderly population. How is it working with a population that's so at risk during this time? And what kind of reaction have you gotten from some of the people that you've interacted with for the services that you're providing?
I've had a really thankful reaction from the residents. We've also been like getting really detailed emails from like the administrative staff and how appreciative the residents are towards like how we've been able to handle the uh, situation. And we've always also gotten like letters from individual residents um, towards um, our service, and it's been greatly noted that everyone there has been really appreciative towards how everyone is still able to contribute during these times.
And how does that make you feel? Obviously, as a younger individual, as a student athlete, you're in a pretty good shape, maybe a little bit less at risk to the coronavirus. How does it make you feel that you're able to give back to this group and to make their life a little bit easier during these difficult times?
I find it really, I guess, motivating. It helps me to, keep doing what I'm doing, and knowing that it's actually, regardless of how small it is or how small it might appear, it's still like important. And I can also imagine myself, if I didn't play my little small role, then how would that, impact others? And um, uh, it's motivating to help me, keep going at it.
Well, keep up the great work. I want to turn the focus towards your athletic career at UMass Boston. You were a 4-year athlete who competed in all three seasons: cross country, indoor track and field. Let's start with cross country. You ran your fastest time during your career in your second to last race, the LEC championship this year. What did it mean to set a PR knowing that it was going to be one of your last races for as a cross country runner, not just something you've done at the collegiate level, but also something you did at the high school level?
It was a really great day and a great moment. It really meant a lot to me going into the season and seeing that I was actually able to pull that off. And it really like set my it helped me really set my season up for the indoor season nicely, and it was something that I had really worked towards during the summer, and I was actually um, really looking forward to pulling off um, at least a good PR before I close off the last season of cross country, and it really I liked how it actually worked out. It was like good weather, the conditions were right. I prepared really well towards the day, and I guess all the little small things really helped to set me up for that PR. And I've not really always considered myself like a distance runner, but that day, and all the days leading up to that day, I really worked myself to make sure that I do the best that I can possibly do before I close off the season.
That leads me into my next question. What do you consider yourself? Looking at some of your results over your 4 years, I don't think I've ever seen someone cover the range of distances that you did. You competed in the 200, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 8, the 1000, the 1500, and the 1600. You pretty much covered it all with the exception of the short sprints and the longest distances in track. What do you think really is your bread and butter when it comes to track and field and kind of the running aspect of that?
I've always, I guess I don't really like have a specific uh, bread and butter, but I've always considered myself as a decathlete, which is a multi-event athlete. And given that in the past, I've come from a really small division, so a small school, and throughout my track career, I've always had the demand to fulfill different events to cover, for the small amount of people that we had on the team, and I've always had to jump from one event to another. And in the past, that has helped me to pick up on individual events and get better at each one little by little. And eventually, I became a little better at various ranges of the uh, events. But I've also found this really like contradicting in terms of like trying to find what to focus on. And I've always found that setting goals and performing, let's say in jumps, has always meant a subtraction from my distance training and endurance training. And I've always had to work with that. And the other thing that has motivated me to be like a decathlete has been, I've always wanted to, be available to fill in whatever events that, that are lacking athletes. And I've always been, willing to fill those in and prepare for those just in case we need that backup.
Prosper, a lot of people who aren't familiar with track and field, who didn't compete in the sport, don't understand the team aspect of the sport where every single point counts towards a team title, which is so important, which is what you're looking for in every other team sport, to win as a team, to win a national championship, a conference championship. How do you balance your individual results, doing better in your events versus competing in more events to give yourself and your team the chance to get the most points and to do well at a conference championship, at an individual meet?
I always I guess in mind when I'm training, I always have the individual aspect of it, the individual mentality that I always have to achieve this goal, or set a certain record that I have to break. But it always ties back to those individual contributions reflecting the team performance, and I've always that has always motivated me to train differently during practices, and also if you look around, regardless of everyone's capabilities, you can always see like room for improvement, and helping others get those little improvements has always been important towards achieving team performances. In my training, my mentality is always like, regardless of whatever I do, I just don't do it for myself, but for the team. And I guess a lot of people, when they see the training and the performances themselves, they always overlook that point that you brought up, that when people actually perform, those little points count towards um, the overall, team performance.
Prosper, do you have an individual moment, whether it was an accomplishment that you did by yourself, an accomplishment you did as part of a relay team, or even just a team accomplishment over your past 4 years that you can really cherish going forward?
I guess looking back to my last indoor season, the previous one during my junior year, I feel like I really set myself up in the beginning for that season. Uh, Specifically the UMass Boston indoor opener, and I was really impressed that I was actually able to perform in two running events and be able to PR set up performance record in both of them on the same day, and that I was really happy how that really worked out nicely. And from what I remember, I went in that day, I guess, really doubting myself that I was actually even able to pull that off, um, but that really helped me to not doubt myself and always aim higher for all my future competitions.
That's great. Prosper, you are studying information technology system administration. We talked a little bit about what that means off air, but for the people at home, what exactly are you studying and what do you want to turn that into in terms of a career?
At home, I'm really studying almost every. It's not just system administrations. It's also data warehousing, all the little small aspects of tracking. Technology, programming, scripting, networking, forensics, all those little things, I guess, tie in with the field in overall. But my main focus is always results back to system administrations, given the fact that many people often go around and they don't really see the back end insights of how their systems are kept secure away from being prone to vulnerabilities. And I feel like that's a really interesting section of the information technology. It's something that I really want to move on with within my prospective career, and um, hopefully it can help me better my opportunities in the future. I'm looking towards not just focusing on my field alone, but also to um, possibly in the future find opportunities where I can help in bridging the opportunity divide, basically setting a good example for the job market for people like myself.
Well, Prosper, it was really cool hearing what you're doing during the pandemic to help others and to hear more about your track career and your future. Good luck finding those opportunities after graduation and making a big difference in your field. It was great talking to you.
Likewise, thank you.